So this morning, we are going to go with a left-right circuit. And as with all of these left-right circuits, you're going to do all of these exercises with the weight in your right hand, and then you're going to do all of these exercises with the weight in your left hand. And so the way that exercises are put together, you should be able to kind of move right from one to the next. Like the weight is kind of going to be in the right spot already to move on to the next exercise. So to start with, everybody's favorite, get-ups. It's hard not to start a left-right circuit with a get-up, just because it's so handy. All right, so with the get-up, you're lying on your back. You're gonna have that weight pressed up towards the ceiling, keeping your arms straight. If the weight's in your right hand, your right knee will be bent. We're just rolling, pushing that weight up towards the ceiling. Now you can do this with body weight as well. So you'll just have your hand up in the air. Then you're gonna pick your hips up. Your knee will go down right in your butt print. And then we stand up. All right, so that was a half of a get up. So you'll do 1.5 get-ups. You're gonna start on the ground. You'll work up, down, and then back up, and then you'll end standing up. Next one from there is a shoulder press. So you'll just stay standing, making sure on the shoulder press that we're not flaring our ribs up or arching your back up towards the ceiling. Want to make sure we keep ribs down nice and strong. So we're pressing there. From there, offset goblet squat. So we're holding the weight. So like after your last shoulder press, you'll just bring it down here, holding the weight there, and you'll do a goblet squat. So it changes the dynamics of the goblet squat just a little bit because now the weight's on one side. So everything else has to account for that. Lateral lunge and row. Got somebody else popping in here. Lateral lunge and row. Step out to the side. So after your last offset goblet squat, you're gonna drop that weight down. We're stepping out to the side, and you're gonna row at the bottom and come back to the middle. So you're gonna do 8 reps here, just like this. Last one is a deadlift or swing. So that's gonna be, your legs are gonna be relatively straight, just a little bit of knee bend. And so you're hinging down and pulling up like that. Or the swing, you'll push back between your legs and swing up to about chin height. I would recommend if anybody has back issues or anything like that, I would recommend doing the deadlift rather than the swing, just because the deadlift is more controlled. It's not as aggressive, and it won't be pulling you forward quite as much. Okay. So you can do this with a dumbbell or a kettlebell. I think kettlebells are typically better just because they're easier to handle and hold through all this. But once you go down through all those exercises, I'm just going to switch hands at the last one, the swing, and come back up the other side. So I'll start and finish with the get up, just because the weight is always in the spot that it's supposed to be for the next one. So I'll work my way back up, and I'll talk my way through it, and you guys can use me as a visual guide too. So you're going to get through all of those in 4 minutes. We've got 1.5 get-ups, and then 8 reps of everything else. 8 shoulder presses, 8 offset goblet squats, 8 lunge and row, 8 swings, and then swing, lunge and row, goblet squat, press, get up. Okay? So I think this is a pretty tough one. So modify as needed. I'm going to be trying to use a heavier weight than I usually do. So I'm trying to work my way into it. So for me, I know I'm not going to be able to press 8 times with that weight, but I can do everything else. So I'm going to be, I think, taking down the number of presses. So I might try to do 4 or 6 presses. So it kind of depends on what equipment you have. And for this circuit, the limiting factor will definitely be the shoulder press. So, if you have a heavier weight and you can't, and you think you want to try it, and you want to use it, you may not be able to get all those shoulder presses. That's okay. So we'll see how it goes. But if you're trying to work your way into another weight, sometimes it just doesn't work to do all the exercises. So modify as you need to. All right, we're going to take like 1 more minute and roll here. You guys can do the self-guided tour today. Remember, we always want to roll your hips, especially the, outside, especially right around your pockets. That's where a lot of things cross through. Let's take another 30 seconds. Finding those sore spots. Ten seconds left to roll. And then once you're done with the roll, we'll go ahead and sit on top of your roller. If you don't have a roller, that's okay. You can kind of use, I don't know if there's anything around that you can sit on, anything nice and low. But what I want to do is just kind of get into like a squat position, like you're in a really low squat here. So your feet are going to come almost under you. So bring your heels as far back as you can towards the roller. And then you can either take your elbows and push your knees apart, or if you feel like your knees will stay apart, you don't have to open them up. But what we want is a stretch here where your feet are flat on the ground. This would be just like a stretch as though you're sitting in the bottom of a squat. But you'll have weight on the roller. So we're just sitting here kind of shifting into this, getting a hip stretch out of it. Remember to take a few breaths, breathing nice and deep into your belly. Your knees should be outside your belly, so you shouldn't really be restricting any breathing. So if you're in here, you may be breathing into your thighs, but we want feet out. So we're just kind of shifting back and forth, getting that stretch. And good. Let's go ahead and sit to the floor. And give yourself a hamstring stretch here. So you're going to pull one leg back and then try to touch the back of your other knee to the floor. So the leg that's on the ground, we're trying to keep that really straight. You might feel a stretch in your hip flexor, but let's try to give yourself that hamstring stretch and also keep your low back on the ground. So we don't want to arch up just to try to get the back of your knee to the floor. The more you pull your toe back towards your face, the more stretch you'll get down the back of your leg. And let's go ahead and switch sides. Giving yourself that hamstring stretch. So we're kind of pulling back on one leg and trying to push your other leg down at the same time. And good. While we're here, let's take that leg, cross it right over. Then you're going to bring your other thigh in towards you. So whatever thigh your ankle is crossed on, you're going to try to bring that one in toward you. Relax your head so that you're relaxing onto the ground. And then we should feel this stretch down the outside of your hip. And let's switch sides. And good. Let's get moving a little bit here. Last stretch on your back, or last bit of warm up that's on your back. You're just going to take your heel, push it into the floor, lifting those hips up. So we're going to go up and down for 10. Try to relax your head as you do it. Keeping your thigh nice and close to your chest as you lift up. And let's switch sides. Should be feeling the work in your cheek here. And good. Let's come up to all fours. One leg out to the side. So we're getting our groin stretch here. You can rock your hips forward and back if you like. And then we're going to take whatever leg is out to the side, we're going to take that arm and rotate up towards the ceiling. So just trying to think less about getting your fingertips up to the ceiling and just more about stacking your shoulders right on top of each other. And let's switch sides. So we're going to go for a stretch first. Rocking those hips forward and backward. All right, then we get into the rotation. So whatever leg is out, we're going to rotate up. Stack those shoulders up on top of each other. And good. Let's come on up to standing. Okay, two-way lunge here. So we're going to step forward, then we're going to lunge out to the side. So take that forward step, reaching your knee down towards the ground, and we take a lateral step. One leg's going to stay glued to the floor, or one foot's going to stay down. Just stepping forward, sideways, getting things moving here. And let's switch sides. So we're going to go through each exercise 4 times. So we're going to go through the circuit 4 times. Each round is going to take 4 minutes with a minute in between. So we're looking at about 23 minutes today, 24 minutes with the rest. Okay, so let's get ourselves ready to go here. We'll go in about 30 seconds. I'll pop the order in the chat again. So remember, one exercise is going to flow into the next one. So it's a get up, and then on your last get up, you'll be up like this. Then we just start the shoulder press. On that last shoulder press, the weight just comes to your shoulder. And we have the offset squat. From there, you drop the weight down. Lateral lunge and row, 8 times on one side. Remember, with that one, you're going to step away from the weight. So if you're holding in your right, you'll step to your left. And then deadlift on that side, and then working your way back up. And then just switch hands and start the deadlifts, working your way up again. Okay? All right, so let's get situated. Grabbing the weight that you need. We're starting off on the floor. Whatever hand is extended up towards the ceiling, that knee will be bent. All right, so we got 4 minutes to do 1.5 get-ups. So you'll do 1 full one and then stand up, and then 8 of everything else. All right, let's get started in 2, 1, and here we go. Starting off with that get-up. Trying to keep your straight leg heel down on the ground. Always keep your eyes up on the weight. So if you can keep your eyes on the weight, you can balance it better. So after the get-ups, you're right into shoulder press. After the shoulder press, the weight stays on your shoulder. For a goblet squat ×8, try to stay nice and tall, even though the weight is off center. Let that weight drop down for the lateral lunge. You will let your chest face the floor here. Last little bit, is it swing or deadlift? I'm gonna start off with a deadlift just to get warmed up. Remember, this is just a hip hinge. So you're pushing your hips back. That weight should track right down in between your shins. Just under a minute to go, or sorry, just under halfway there. Minute 40 to go, minute 45. So we switch sides, come right back up on the deadlift. Out to lateral lunge. Squats next. So squat's the only one that you really have to move the weight into a different position. "55 seconds to go. After the shoulder press, the last get up. You're gonna go all the way down, all the way up, and then end on the floor. "15 seconds left. Three, two, one, and relax. So we got a minute to rest in between. If you want to switch weights and you have that option, this would be the time to do it. Morning, Mark. Saw you pop on, but I didn't say hey. 20 seconds left to rest. Let's try to start on the other side this time. So if you started with your right hand last time, start with your left this time. In 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and away we go with the get-ups. On the deadlift, remember you don't have to go to the floor. We want to do the range of motion you can do with good form. Switching sides right over to the deadlift on the other side. Minute 40 to go. Remember on those squats, feet will stay flat on the floor. When you get into your get-ups, remember the foot on the weight side will stay glued. "30 seconds left. "15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we've got a minute rest. So on the goblet squat, you may hold with one hand. If you have your other hand out, it kind of helps to balance things out a little bit, stabilize you. I hold with two hands. As long as the weight's off to one side, you are in a good spot. And on that goblet squat, the first thing to happen is your hips push back, right? So it's not knees forward, it's hips back so that we make sure we're using our butt for that movement. All right, we're halfway there. 15 seconds till we go again. Starting off in the original hand this time, to the side that you just ended with. All right, in 3, 2, 1, here we go. Making sure that that deadlift is making your butt and back of your legs tired, not your low back. If it's your low back, shorten up the movement. Minute 45 left. Last minute. Thirty seconds to go until our minute rest. Ten seconds left. 2, 1, minute rest. So especially those get-ups at the end, you're probably going to be fatigued, and you've got a weight dangling over your head. So really make sure that you're dialed in, super focused on that last get-up and a half, keeping the weight balanced as you go. 30 seconds left to rest. Then we're right back to the floor for the last set. Ten seconds. All right, 3, 2, 1, last set. Here we go. Minute 45 to go. Make sure we're coming into a strong finish here. As always, form is most important. If you have a choice between squeezing out a couple more reps and keeping good form, keeping form always comes first. "45 seconds to go." "20 seconds. 10. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Put your pencils down. Amy Carol Elaine.
Thanks, Brian.
You got it, guys. Yeah, if you got to go, go ahead. I've got everybody written down. Tough one this morning. Just to get you started on hump day. Let's take these last 20 seconds. Bringing your breath back down, stand tall. Finding that heartbeat. All right, so take one more minute if you want. I'm gonna hop off here this morning. Oh boy, that was a tough one. Good job, everybody. Great to see you on this morning. Mark, thank you. Ted, thanks. Elaine, thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
You bet.
Thanks, Brian.
See you soon.
Yep, bye.